Struggling with the intro today, must be this new war. Guys, welcome back to Investing with a Beer, where I hope to take you on a journey to grow 50k into $1 million over a 10-year period. Basically, this is just a weekly portfolio update where we look at the trades we make, the dividends that come in, and all that kind of fun stuff. Then we have a nugget part where you should hopefully learn something new each week. Now I'm trying to cut out a lot of other stuff so the nuggets can go a bit further because that seems to be everyone's favorite part. So today's nugget is going to be on Champion Iron Ore, which is a recent purchase we made this week. But without further ado, guys, pause me here, go and grab yourself a beer, and let's work through this. Let's jump into it, guys. So we got to fill that 10k position this week. We bought into CIA, which is Champion Iron. We'll discuss the stock in more detail during the nugget section, but we entered in on the last day of Jan at $6.41 a pop. Brokerage at the $19.95. Now shout out to Gary from QAV. We're going to try transitioning across to Self-Wealth to save on some of the brokerage. This will also allow us to change our trading plan slightly to accommodate 5k entries at $9.50 flat. Cheers, guys. Alright, benchmark time. So how did XJO fare this week? Finally, some nice green lawn. The market was up 1.56% for the Monday to Friday trading week. Now look, I'm currently pulling this from Google's market summary. If someone could find me a better way to report XJO's performance, I'm all ears. So how did our stocks do this week? We're up a whopping 3.88% this week, about 1.5 times the All Ords. Check out the new Iron Gods, FMG, nearly up 10%, and Champion being a champion, up near 8%. Old MHG, still chugging along, also up 8%, and IVE Group up near 6%. Capral retreated slightly by 3 and Clearview by 1.3, but all in all, I'm pretty chuffed for the rebound this week. This is why we need to keep our emotions in check during the choppy periods when the market is against us. Now for the updates on the list. Here is all last week's buys, holds and sells. The ones that changed are as follows and why. IVE Group moved back to buy as it closed above last month's close. Can you blame him with that 6%? And MHJ also back to buy as he closed above last month's close. Again, 8% this week. Well done, mate. Remember, guys, do your own research. Alright, now my partner told me that having all the open and closed positions was yucky and messy. And I'm going to agree with her. Just this once. So we'll try a consolidated view of opens only, but reflecting the portfolio gains as a whole. So since inception, we have a pure capital gain of 2.13%. The portfolio still has a dividend return of 1.95%. This gives us a total return of positive 4.08%. It's good to be back in black, baby. Alright guys, today's nugget section is going to be about our recent purchase, Champion Iron. ASX ticker, CIA. Now, similar to last week, we'll run through a quick overview of the company, the management, some numbers and graphs. Alright, so Champion Iron, as the name hints, is basically an iron ore miner and explorer who through their subsidiary Swyftx owns and operates the Bloom Lake mining complex, which is about 13 kilometers north of Vermont. Now, if you are geographically challenged like myself, this is in Canada on the eastern side in Quebec. Now they're an open pit, truck and shovel operation, and they ship via train to a port, distributing globally to the likes of China, Japan, the Middle East, Europe, South Korea, India and Canada. Now they aren't just any kind of iron ore producer. They have the high grade 66.2% Fe iron ore concentrate, which attracts premium to the Platts Iodex 62%. Now, if you are not aware, this is the cleaner of the supply and able to be used in electric furnaces, which contributes to the fight against climate change by reducing emissions in the steelmaking industry. Also, they are trying to get some 69% iron ore concentrate, which will allow them to sell to direct reduction steelmakers. The phase 1 plan has a nameplate capacity of 7.4 million tonnes per annum. Spoiler alert, they are planning to double this with phase 2, giving them a 20-year mine life. They currently have a few more projects on the go, which should boost their production in the future. For example, the Bloom Lake Phase 2, it should be finished mid this year, 2022. Alright, the management, the dudes. So firstly, we have Michael O'Keefe, whom was appointed Executive Chairman of Champion Iron Limited on August 13, 2013. Mr. O'Keefe has a vast knowledge in the mining sector, commencing work with MIM Holdings back in 1975, holding a series of senior operating positions. In 1995, he was the Managing Director of Glencore Australia, holding the position till 2004. He was also the founder and exec chairman of Riverdale Mining and is presently a member of the board of Burgundy Diamond Mines. Michael currently has a stake of 8.89% in Champion Iron and that's at a value of 311 million bucks. He was also CEO till April Fool's Day in 2019 when he handed the bat over to this guy, David Cataford. Mr. Cataford is also the president, and prior to this was the Chief Operations Officer of Champion Iron since March 2017. His prior knowledge includes experience in several management positions within Cliffs Natural Resources at Bloom Lake Mine, where he had an important role in increasing drilling capacity to 80%, and he also helped with the Phase 1 expansion. David has a modest stake of 0.44% in Champion Iron, totaling to a value of 15.3 million bucks. Alright, some numbers. Firstly, I just want to highlight some old classic ratios. Now note, they only started making revenue from March 19 onwards, but check out their PE ratio. They have been getting consistently cheaper than the industry average. Most recent 3.48 reported versus 9.53 industry average. I find this fascinating. Even though their share price is nearly 3x from March 20 at $2.54 to current $6.92. Next, let's talk about their cash. I like how we can see it increasing over the last few years, but the best part, as I also seen in the annual report, they have 635 million in cash, which is enough to cover both their short, which is none, and long-term debt commitments. It's just shy of covering the full liabilities of the balance sheet. By memory, they were net debt positive of 110 million in the last annual report. Alright, graph me up, baby. So check out Champion's 5-year. Note, they started making money around the start of 19. Since then, they went sideways for a bit and lagged the industry. Then you can see the iron took off, and so did Champion, until it hit the headwinds around July 21, falling off a cliff. But since then, it has had a remarkable recovery. Now this stock, similar to FMG last week, is governed by the iron ore price. It actually pulls a premium over the FE 62% chart, as it is a 66% mine, as we discussed earlier. So it gets a price between the two charts. But this time, let's just lay them on the same screen. It is incredible how much they look alike. Champion recovered really quick compared to the iron ore price in recent months, but is this just bullish investors, or has this stock got so much legs in it, it's off to the moon? Time will tell. Alright, that's enough about Champion. Let's move on. Alright, so our cash account is now at $822. With our 822 in cash, plus our 77,400 in stocks, takes us to an overall value of 78,222 bucks, which is about a positive 3.83% total portfolio gain from last week. This is probably the best I've seen in a single week for a long while. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Please make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and tickle that bell to get notified when my weekly updates come out. If you want to see anything else in the playlist, please just leave us a comment below. I'll make sure I reply to you all. Now you all know the saying, keep healthy and wealthy. See ya, guys.